3, double trouble. My head is huge. Those are.
I actually can't see the
They
screen.
make. Well, hey, whoa.
I have a headache.
They're
now.
trifocals. The bottom is huge magnification. The middle is mild. The top is super light. So if you look through the top, they're hard. See the difference? Welcome to my world. They're tris, but your head is so small. My head is huge.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
falling off me, but alright, so this is if I could say names, I'd tell ya.
Well, the flag in the background's a little giveaway.
What are you talking about?
You
I
said
don't
if
know
you could say
where that's from. Why are you
names.
trying to steal our
Okay, just go.
Okay,
Just go.
Alright. So this is our relationship speech. There's me and Rebecca. Rebecca. Okay, so okay, so obviously the problems with everybody else is what can teachers do to build a better relationship with students, but have you ever considered why teachers aren't willing to build better relationships with us? So we asked a group of different students with very diverse students on what they thought or what they saw different struggles were with building relationships with teachers, and then one of them said that they see us as numbers, our grades are what define them, and then like that's all they kind of care about us. So yeah, our grades define us, but it also defines like what the teacher and like how they're teaching and how well they're doing. So instead of seeing us as human beings, they just like to see us as numbers.
Looks like a young Troxel, doesn't the kid?
Wow. Okay. And then sometimes they offer no genuine help, so they assume that if you don't understand the material, then you weren't paying attention. So I know, like for example, if I go up to a teacher and I'm like, hey, I have a question or whatever about the material that we just covered. Well, you weren't paying attention, or you were on your phone or something, and I could have like really not been on my phone, but they still accused me of like not paying attention. I was paying attention, but I'm still not comprehending the material. They don't get to know us on a personal level, so teachers often, some teachers, like you, Mr. Gross, like you care, like you know, like what like we have to do in our free time, whatever. But other teachers, like they just like they're
That's
here.
crossing the boundary, though.
Whoa.
I don't
It
even.
depends personal though. Some of us
No.
have boundaries. We don't want
Boundaries
you to
are
know what's
different.
going on.
Boundaries are individual to
Some
each
of us do.
person.
Okay.
So
Good
I
defense on that
feel like
one.
you really get to know me sometimes. While other teachers, like they're here just to teach us and that's it. And then when you don't establish a connection or get to know us, then that's where struggles will arise. And then I think the judgment.
Ooh.
So for a sense of judgment, for me, I've noticed like obviously everyone knows that like my arms, like I have tattoos and everything. So for me, I've noticed that there's certain teachers that I've had where like I'll be in their class and you can just tell like they'll just, you know, like why do you get those? I have so many comments made to me. Why would you get those on your body? When the lady in the office, one of them, I can't remember, she's not even here anymore, found out that I had a tongue ring. It was like the worst thing in the world, I swear. Like made me feel like complete shit about myself. Like it was terrible. So I found like a really strong sense of judgment with certain teachers when they were like, oh, tattoos, piercings, you act this way, you know, just that's a big thing for me.
Only time it bothers me is when you guys put them in sensitive spots and you come to show me. I don't want to see those. So kind of a picture crop so you get the artwork, but I don't need the body parts. But they fascinate me.
And then kind of going along with seeing us as numbers and like our grades or whatever.
You aren't normal human beings.
They kind of
Look around this room. Whole body
Yeah,
normal?
but it's more emphasizing the equal part, I guess. Like more emphasis on like we're not equal to you, you know, because like, you're superior and everything. So it's really hard for
Well, I am. I'm
you guys
taller.
to see us. Wow. Okay.
Which means Smitty's the superior of all. Did you wear any deodorant today? Just checking.
So
That's scary.
then we went around and we asked different teachers what students do that actually upsets them and makes
Oh.
them not want to build personal connection with them. And keep in mind that these are teachers in our own building. So when I'm saying these things, I want you to actually think like, have I been this way towards a teacher? And if you have, please try to change it because it goes both ways. Like you have to try for them to want to try too. It goes both ways. So students do not engage. They're too busy on their phones, Chromebooks, or messing around. When I student mentored for Miss Cheney last year, she had all sophomore boys. It was a full class of them. They were the worst boys ever. And you could tell like by the day she just gave up. She gave up because every day she was so exhausted just telling them like, please stop messing around. They throw stuff and fight and they were always on their phone, never paid attention to her. And it was so honestly like heartbreaking for me to see that because I love
So that was
Cheney
last
with
year?
all my heart. Yep.
So they're juniors now?
Yep.
Are any of them sitting in this classroom?
Not that we're in her class. No,
Watch
but
it
it
as
was
you
just
go.
really heartbreaking to see something like that. when students don't care, it's hard to care in return.
That's true.
I found this really powerful because that is true. Just like if you have a teacher that doesn't care, you're going to be like, forget about it. Why do I need to do anything? And that was just really powerful to me because, teachers, they don't want to just keep on trying. They're not going to fight for Carson to actually give a crap when there's somebody sitting right next to him that does care and wants to be engaged in the material. There's a lack of response, emotion, and interaction. So the teacher who said this really just said, like, I asked somebody something and they just sit there with a blank stare. He was like, I'll ask them how their day is, and they just look at me like I'm psycho for trying to talk to them. And we really got to stop that and interact with them. They don't see us as normal human beings. So the students actually said that too, which is like huge proof that this does go both ways, because if you think about it, we're not thinking about, teachers have problems. They're humans, like Mr. Gross has problems outside the house, like his dogs die, he gets emotional, and we have those problems too. And so a big thing.
Gotta bring that on.
No, you know what I mean. I go through it too. That's the thing. We have to realize that about each other. Like, we do have other stuff going on, and so do they.
But a lot won't share. They believe you've got to be teacher-student. They won't let you know. What happened to me, I was the luckiest student teacher in the world. I'm at Myers. If I told you guys this story, stop me. I'm shopping at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the produce section. I can see it like it was yesterday. Pushing my cart, along comes a cheerleader here at Shepherd. We're talking back in 91. And she goes, oh my God, Mr. Gross, how you doing? And she stops dead. Well, here comes two parents right around the corner, mom and a dad. And I knew it was her parents because they had that button of their daughter on the cheerleader, which a smart teacher always looks for. And I kind of looked at her, and she looked at me, she looked at my cart. She looked at me, she looked at my cart. She goes, I said, what's wrong? She goes, you grocery shop. And her mom went like this. Her dad turned his head, and I leaned down and I go, Sunshine, the little guy that fills my refrigerator slipped on the ice cube tray and broke his leg, and I had to leave my classroom. She says, no, well, that's not what I mean. But as I drove home, I thought about it. I never looked at my teachers as people. And I vowed, luckily enough, as I was a student teacher, I would never let that happen. I'm a person. So it's how you determine your career. Luckily, I got it early.
That's how I feel. I ran into your wife at Walmart, and it wasn't weird. It was like normal. I'm like, it didn't feel weird at all because, how we joke with her and everything. Like, it just
No, not my wife. No way.
Just a normal person out there. And then lack of give a shit. Yeah, one of the teachers actually said that, and she
Wasn't
said
me.
that a lot of people, just nobody gives
You
a
don't
shit.
care.
She was
Yeah,
like,
they don't care, so.
students just don't show any care at all, no remorse, nothing.
So we flew through the prompt that was given to us, and more like a 50-50 responsibility, because in order to understand why teachers aren't willing to build better relationships with students, you have to understand the other side of it too, which is what we can do and what we need to do in order to make the reluctance go away from teachers.
So for our steps of what teachers can take to make us feel more comfortable, it's just creating a welcoming environment. Like, obviously this classroom, pretty chill, and I'm not saying every teacher needs to have couches or anything, but when you walk in, hi, how are you doing? Just kind of establish like, hey, we're here and we're good together. We can make this work.
Well, let's stop for a second. I'm going to go to that one because
No.
this is last hour. I learned so much, and I learned it again with the boundary thing. You walk in the other morning. How you doing? I'm sorry your rat died. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, but that makes me think like you could have totally ignored that, but for me, like,
But it
you
showed
saw
up on
that,
my
you read
feed.
my name, you read, oh, that's one of my students, and then you talked to me about
But
it.
I look
That
at
makes
it
me feel
going,
like you
that's
care.
boundary, that's Facebook kind of thing going on.
But I'm
How is
okay
that
with
not
it.
creeping?
I accepted, like, I actually sent you a friend request, but, we, like, not to make this sound weird, but everything is consensual,
No,
like,
I understand
us
what you're
being
saying.
with Facebook on each other, everything
But there
is
is
just our personal.
administrators, superintendents, lawyers that say no public school, no school figure, coach, teacher, bus driver, anyone should be on social media with their students.
And they probably
No
don't
one.
have personal connections.
And they do that. And I said, I'm the abomination when it comes down to that because I want to be a part of their life. I want them to see what my life's about. But I know others that absolutely will not in any way, shape, or form. And that's what sometimes, is there every student I look at and they lost an animal, would I say it to? I got to be careful
Right.
because it can be interpreted so differently. Okay, positive attitude.
Have a positive attitude. So obviously the other group hit on this, but when you walk into a classroom and the teacher doesn't acknowledge you and they're just like, "Hey, everybody sit down, let's start," you're just like, "Wow, this is an asshole. I don't want to, put in the work to actually work with them. They don't care about me wanting to make sure. You want to make sure your students are comfortable and they feel happy." So it's just when you walk in, like for Balzer, for example, he's always like, "Good morning" to everybody, and I see so many people just walk right past him. cannot demand respect from somebody if you don't respect them. And a huge thing is like respect your elders. And I totally throw that out the window, and I like to say respect who respects you. So teachers who treat me with respect and aren't really mean to me and just crap to me, it really makes me respect them. And I'm like, okay, we are equals, we are human beings, and that's when I see them on more of a personal level. Protect your students' self-esteem. So I had issues 2 years ago in a class where they would say, okay, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. You need to ask questions so that way you can be productive. And then as soon as you raise your hand and you ask a question, like Rebecca said, you didn't pay attention, you don't understand this. You know, he literally belittled us and made us feel stupid, and at times called us stupid.
So then are you ever going to want to raise your hand again?
Yeah,
No, like
so,
never.
yeah, so now, and then that totally, all that respect is gone. You know, I never want to talk in that class again, never even want to go to that class again. Like, it really establishes something. So one thing that teachers can do is, if you have a question that you're not feeling so confident about, try to talk to them and privately. Just say, hey, I'm not quite understanding the work, and now it's on them if they want to work with you or if not.
So question with Smitty. Smitty, did I mess up when I made the deodorant comment in front of the class? Why did I say that though? I mean, where's that coming from?
I was in the hallway putting on deodorant.
He's always in the hallway putting his deodorant on, and he's pulling his shirt, and he looks at me every time he does it, and he's grinning. It drives me nuts. And he's just grinning from ear to ear, and I'm like, dude, and he's like, it's okay, Mr. G, I smell good. But is that something I should do in private with him,
Well,
as
that's-
opposed to?
No,
No.
because Matt's okay with it, and you're like, yours is through like nice sarcasm, you know? Instead of
That's
making him feel
oxymoron,
dumb,
yeah.
like he's
Nice
laughing about
sarcasm.
it, you know? But you have that relationship. It's all, it really does become
You
like
got,
a
it's
personal
got to be
thing.
careful though, because you pick the
You do.
wrong kid. Suddenly, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's just.
But I think you have the knowledge to pick the right kid.
Yeah.
You know, like boundaries are
If I
individual
don't, I'm
to a
dead.
different.
And you have a certain like intention, like you're not intentionally calling him out to make him feel like crap about himself.
No,
you
I'm
know?
just making sure he's awake over there having fun.
Yep. So get to know your students and show interest in their interests, like on a personal level. So some examples of this is like Cheney and I, like all the time, like she's like, oh, what tattoo are you gonna get next? Like Cheney's my homegirl. Like at this point, I don't see her as a teacher. Like she is my friend. Like we go in deep. Like she's always like, oh, what are you getting next? Always talking to me about my animals. When I accused her my sophomore year, we used to always talk about boys. Like she was my homegirl. Who and I'm super close with. I'm like, I don't see teachers that I'm close with as teachers, and those are the ones who I want to do good in their class because we develop a deep connection. Ancliffe sat with me and Rebecca first hour and went in depth about Rebecca's life. She knew more about Rebecca's life than Rebecca knew about Rebecca's
Yeah,
life.
that's actually
She
true.
was talking about like all her family members. She knew names. She knew who was who, and we have that connection. She's my homegirl too. Like we're all just close, you know.
How come there's no homeboys in there?
Cahoon's my homeboy.
Who?
Cahoon.
She's like Cahoon.
Gotcha.
And then, like, kind of emphasizing that 50-50 responsibility. So there are things that students need to do as well to kind of build relationships with teachers. So one is just attending and participating in class and making sure, like, you're engaged learners. Like, you actually want to engage in material and, like, you just have, like, you have a want. Like, you instill a desire to learn and, you know, participate and attend class regularly. And then take a break from technology and distractions. Be respectful of the teacher's time. You know, like a teacher only has so much time, and outside of school, they have other things too. You know, like Bethany said, they are human beings. They have other problems and issues that they're dealing with. So in class time, just be respectful. You know, you can be on your phone any else part of the day. You know, but when you're in class, just make sure you're focusing on the actual class material and not distracting yourself. So communicate in a careful and respectful manner. Just communicating your struggles. You're not gonna attack the teacher. Attack a teacher. That's very disrespectful. And, you know, just going up to them saying, hey, I'm struggling in your class, you know. Don't put the blame on them, you know. Like, not say that the blame is on you, but just be like, okay, well, I'm struggling. Can you help me? And just be respectful about it. Separate your personal problems from your academic work. And so if you're having personal issues, just talk to your educator, like, privately about it, you know. Just pull them aside. Just feel, and, like, I get the embarrassment that could happen, but it's more beneficial for you to talk to them to the side than, like, you know, obviously, like, raise your hand in class.
Hey, question though. What if you say you have a little student called Jay Gross, and every time there's a due date, Jay Gross has a personal issue. The assignment's not going to get turned in. This happens 7, 8 times during the trimester. Where does it get to a point where you just got to go, listen? I mean, at what point does the teacher draw the line and go, listen, every single due date?
Well, yeah, of course, but just like privately, you know.
Oh, no, I'm not saying in front of class.
Yeah, but you could tell them like,
No, no,
you know,
no.
you're abusing it, and of course, but just be respectful about it because maybe there's an underlying issue that would cause somebody to not
Okay.
have something done that would
But definitely
lead
talk
to that.
probably have to figure it out. 'Cause
Yeah,
sooner or
of
later you gotta
course.
draw the
Just
line
work
on
with
that.
them.
Yeah. And then build a bond with the teacher and tell them who you are, ask them questions about yourself. So yes, you want teachers to ask you like what do you like to do in your free time, but also make sure like you're reciprocating those feelings, asking them like what do you do besides teach? Mr. Gross, you speak right, you're whatever it's called. What the K one. I have
The K1?
Yeah. Exactly. Like you do that
I
aside from
speak.
teaching and just making sure like you're building a bond with your educators and just talking to them about like what they have going on outside of their school.
Right. Another, like, going off of that, that's really rare. I don't know if you guys realize that, but people don't ask teachers about themselves. So I guarantee if you go out and you just walk up to a teacher and say, hey, like, how was your weekend? It's gonna change, you're gonna notice it, because I don't think we realize that, but like, we expect for people to care about us. Nobody's asking them what they're doing in their free time. Nobody's picking on their interests. Like, me and Cheney, we always talk about how she works at a campground and how that goes, and you can tell she appreciates it that somebody else is showing interest in them. And for us to be like students, that's pretty powerful. Like, hey, we're invested in your life too because you're invested in ours.
But you can watch body language, and no names, of course. You can watch body language on some educators.
Oh, some
If you ask them, so how was your weekend? They will stiffen up. You'll see them start to come inside. Why do you ask? They'll respond with a question like, why are you asking me that? Kind of thing, because they're very sheltered. They were brought up with it's teacher, it's student, there's a division. You can't cross that line.
So of
And
course
it's-
that's another, like, going both ways things, like,
Bingo.
if a teacher refuses to talk to you and work with you, they refuse to talk to you and work with you, but don't combat it with, being a dick and just being like, okay, screw you, just
Yep.
give it up. Not everybody is going to be willing to work with
Nope.
you, just like you're not willing to work with everybody else. So the real problem is pretty much, this is what we did. We asked teachers why they think students don't try, why they don't care, why they don't want to build relationships with them. None of the teachers could give us a solid answer. They don't know. And that's because we won't communicate with them why we won't try. So we ask students, hey, why do certain teachers not try to build a relationship with you? Why don't they care? We don't know. We don't know why they don't try. So the real problem is that we, as students, are waiting for the teachers to take the initiative. Teachers are waiting for us as students to take the initiative. So this is why we need an open line of communication, and we need to actually take the step, put on your big girl pants, and like just go in and try, because we're just waiting for one another, and nothing's ever gonna get solved if we're both just waiting for somebody to take the first step. So if you want to end up like this group of happy students and their teacher, we're gonna challenge you. So on Monday, I would like for hopefully some of you will do this. Just when you walk into class, ask your teacher, hey, how was your weekend? If they refuse to tell you, whatever, screw you. No, but just
be
try to
respectful of that
try
and
to
don't pressure
open
them.
a line of communication with them. Ask about their interests. Compliment them. Maybe, oh, your jacket looks nice. Just try to do something that you wouldn't normally do and see the effect that it has on them, because I guarantee if somebody has it in their heart and you compliment them and they're really feeling it, you're gonna see it and you both are gonna feel better, and that'll open that line of communication. So
Nice it up.